Welcome to Jurassic World.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
This shot is the perfect microcosm for Jurassic World as a movie. I can see what they're going for. They're doing a callback to the first Jurassic Park, when a helicopter similarly flew through Isla Nublar with John Williams' triumphant score behind it. The difference being, this helicopter's flight is shaky, as the pilot doesn't quite know what he's doing. The filmmakers are trying to show that the people in charge of Jurassic World are attempting to follow in the footsteps of the creators of Jurassic Park, but they're not as skilled or equipped as them, even though they may be more confident.
Got it.
And given how things turned out for Jurassic Park, this simple moment is a subtle indication of what's to come for Jurassic World. However, I doubt the filmmakers realized what kind of meta-commentary they were making about themselves as filmmakers, taking over the Jurassic Park movie franchise in the same way that Miss Ronnie is taking over the Jurassic Park theme park.
Spin expense.
This shaky helicopter, with a confident but inept pilot behind the controls, also characterizes Colin Trevorrow and company, attempting to recapture the glory of Spielberg's movie, but just not capable enough to pull it off. Here's what I mean. Jurassic World draws parallels to the original Jurassic Park movie over and over and over and over and over and over again. This, in and of itself, isn't a problem. Other sequels and franchise reboots, even others in 2015, included plenty of callbacks and allusions to the earlier movies. After all, mixing old with new is a key to success with these years later sequels. The crucial difference is that The Force Awakens and Creed were very good movies in their own right, and they withstood being held side by side with the originals they were calling back to. With Jurassic World, however, callbacks to Jurassic Park just highlight how much better Jurassic Park is, and how lacking Jurassic World is. This begins, as it almost always does, with characters. Broad, cliched stereotypes just don't command the same audience investment as three-dimensional characters with arcs. Let me start with an obvious example. Tim from Jurassic Park and Gray from Jurassic World. Did you even know this kid's name was Gray? That's telling, and part of my point. This character is the clearest example of Jurassic World trying to call back to, or even recreate, a character from Jurassic Park. Similar age, similar attitude and energy, both smart and enthusiastic, they even kind of look alike. But the crucial differences to me, and the reason that Tim works as a character and Gray doesn't, are personality and believability. Yes, both kids are very smart and try to show it, but compare how they do so.
When they first opened, they had 8 species. Now they have 14 herbivores and 6 carnivores. That's like 50 tons of food a week. Cetacean, guanine, adamine, and thymine. Same 4 things in everything that ever lived. Still ride the Triceratops on 47.5 inches. 88 teeth. So the proteins and the cell membranes get all mixed up and act as a natural preservative. DNA can survive for millennia that way. So now, even if the amber mines dry up, they'll still have bones. 1992 Jeep Wrangler Sahara, Sam Beige.
I read your book. I heard that there was this meteor hit the Earth someplace down in Mexico and made this big crater. Then I heard about this thing in Omni, about this meteor making all this heat, and it made a bunch of diamond dust. And that changed the weather, and they died because of the weather. And then my teacher told me about this other book by a guy named Backer, and and his book was a lot fatter than yours. It was like this.
Yours was fully illustrated.
Hey, look at this. Wait, hey, watch. Hey, come on, watch this. Gallimimus.
In my experience with kids like this, having been one myself, this is a much more accurate depiction of how most kids actually talk and behave. This behavior is much more atypical.
Dane County Airport is 36 minutes away, 60 with traffic. How big is the island?
Big.
But how many pounds?
Doesn't make sense.
Honestly, Gray's behavior indicates that he's likely somewhere on the autism spectrum.
Teeth. We need more teeth.
And if that was the intention of the filmmakers, that's completely fine. But they never once come close to addressing that. This is all we get.
Aren't you supposed to be a genius or something? Look.
And that's not close. So either they intentionally made him autistic and didn't address it, or they're extremely obtuse about how neurotypical children behave. Apparently, actor Ty Simpkins said in an interview that, quote, "Originally, the character was supposed to be autistic, and we just dropped that. We just made him odd." So I guess all these things are latent autism traits that they just decided were no longer autism traits. I guess that makes it a little column A, little column B, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. Regardless of which it is, it doesn't change the fact that Gray has no personality. Knowing facts isn't a personality. Caring about girls and little else isn't a personality. Caring about work and little else isn't a personality. Those are characteristics that stem from a personality, but a personality that we never see. This makes the characters difficult to invest in. And so, what are supposed to be big emotional moments feel unearned. This is an earned emotional moment. Because we know the characters, we know their personalities, and we know how meaningful these gestures are. This doesn't carry the same weight. We're being asked to lament the potential destruction of a family we saw for literally 90 seconds, and how this may affect two kids we know nothing about, besides that one knows a lot of facts and one likes girls. And even if these characters had personalities, even if we knew anything about them, look how they react to danger. After they nearly die from a velociraptor attack, here's how the two boys react.
I can't wait to tell Mom!
Call me crazy, but I think a more believable action to such a traumatic event would be something along the lines of... If the characters are acting like this, they don't seem to think they're in much danger. So why should we? This kills all tension. And at the end of the movie, ask yourself, how have our characters changed? It's pretty clear in Jurassic Park. Alan's learned that the world is moving faster than he realizes, and that if he doesn't adapt, it'll change without him. And that maybe he's been spending too much time focusing on the past and not the future. Ellie begins as adventurous, independent, and convinced that she can always save the day.
We can discuss sexism and survival situations when I get back.
And she learns that maybe she needs saving sometimes too. Similarly, Lex learns that she isn't as worldly as she thinks she is.
I happen to be a vegetarian.
And Tim learns that what he reads in a book and what he encounters in life will be two very different things. What have the characters learned at the end of Jurassic World? Owen is completely unchanged. Everything he thought and felt here is the same as he thinks and feels here. Yes, Claire probably learned that she can't control everything, particularly nature, but that exact lesson was much better executed with John Hammond in Jurassic Park. And that was coupled by the added layer that Hammond was acting with the best intentions, hoping to thrill people and inspire the world. He was just naive about the power he was wielding.
When we have control again.
You never had control. That's the illusion.
Claire was just trying to impress the shareholders. And the kids? Well, I guess the older brother, Zach, I bet you didn't know his name either, learns to appreciate and care for his brother more. But didn't Lex learn that in Jurassic Park, in addition to the other things she learned? And I honestly don't think Gray changed at all, which might have made sense under different circumstances. It's like the filmmakers didn't even try to make interesting characters. They didn't want characters that grew or had arcs. They didn't want characters with perspectives and ideas that they discuss and we contemplate. They just wanted characters that could run from dangerous situation to dangerous situation. The people in charge of the Jurassic World theme park state their goal plainly.
Bigger. Scarier? Cooler, I believe is the word that you used in your memo.
And it's clear as day that they just don't get the spirit of what made Jurassic Park so magical. And they care far more about corporate sponsorships, selling tickets, and their bottom line far more than they care about the quality of the product they create.
Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex.
Oh, that is so terrible. I mean, you do understand these are actual animals, right?
Whatever gets asses in the seats. And you can say the exact same thing about the filmmakers. The people in charge of the Jurassic World movie state their goal plainly. Bigger, cooler, scarier. And it's clear as day that they just don't get the spirit of what made Jurassic Park so magical. And they care about selling tickets and their bottom line far more than they care about the quality of the product they create. Whatever gets asses in the seats. and sets up a sequel to get more asses and more seats.
I'm taking everything off site.
The filmmakers behind Jurassic World desperately wanted you to relive some of the magic of Jurassic Park, but just like the theme park itself, the movie comes off as a sterile, lifeless, manufactured cash grab, with everything that made the original great all but gone. What was once a triumphant moment of seeing a character's life passion in their natural habitat for the first time is now the view from a clean, safe hotel room overlooking a frickin' visitor center. I'm not saying Jurassic World is a bad movie per se, or that if you like it, you're wrong for doing so. I actually think that Jurassic World is a very average movie. It just exists in the shadow of a truly great one.
Hold on to your butts.